We all know Livechat is great for sales, right? But what if I told you it could be secretly killing your website's performance? Well, today we're going to find out. We're putting the most popular tools head-to-head to uncover the hidden cost of page speed. Yeah, think about it for a second. That helpful little chat window that pops up, it's awesome for turning visitors into actual customers. But could it also be a secret saboteur? You know, the kind that frustrates people with slow load times and quietly tanks your SEO? That's the big question. It's really the classic dilemma, isn't it? Conversions versus speed. We want both, obviously, but a lot of the time they seem to be fighting each other. So, you know what we did? We put it to the test. We grabbed 10 of the biggest live chat tools out there and threw them into a performance showdown to see who's actually fast and who's just, well, dead weight. And here they are, our 10 contenders. You're going to recognize a lot of these names for sure. We've got the big players like HubSpot, Zendesk, and Drift in the ring. To keep things fair, we installed every single one on a fresh, clean test site so we could see exactly what kind of impact they have on performance. Okay, let's get to the good stuff, the main event. Round 1 is all about the overall performance score. Think of it as one simple number that tells us how fast a page feels to a real person using it. So we're going to start with desktop because, you know, things almost always look pretty good on a powerful computer. But the real story, where the problems almost always hide, is on mobile. Let's see how our contenders fare. Wow, okay, so on desktop, the results are crystal clear. Tawk.to is the absolute champion here. It scores a 92, which is, get this, almost identical to having no chat tool at all. The rest of the pack, on average, they already dragged the score down quite a bit. But switch over to mobile, and oh boy, the story completely changes. It gets dramatic. Tawk.to is still leading the pack, which is great, but just look at that nosedive for everyone else. I mean, huge names like Zendesk and HubSpot are posting, frankly, dismal scores of 46 and 38. That is a massive hit to your mobile user experience. All right, time for round 2. We're calling this one the Google Gauntlet. We're not just looking at a general performance score anymore. Nope. We're diving into core web vitals. These are the exact metrics Google itself uses to judge your site's experience, and yeah, they can directly impact your search rankings. So, this is where things get really serious. First up, we have something called Largest Contentful Paint, or LCP. All that really means is how long does it take for the most important stuff on your page, like the main image or text, to actually show up. Google says this needs to happen in under 2.5 seconds. It's literally your website's first impression. And on mobile, the results are kind of shocking. Tawk.to only adds about 1/4 of a second, which is nothing. But then you have Kayako, which adds a disastrous 4 full seconds to the load time. Let that sink in. Your site could be perfectly optimized, but a tool like Kayako would single-handedly make you fail Google's Core Web Vitals test. Ouch. Okay, next up is Total Blocking Time, or TBT. You know that super annoying feeling when a page looks like it's loaded, but you can't click on anything? It's just frozen? Yep. That's what TBT measures. It's how long the page is blocked from responding to you. And Google wants that to be less than 300 milliseconds. And this is where the competition just falls apart. A staggering 7 out of the 10 tools we tested completely failed this crucial test. The absolute worst offender, that's Drift, with a blocking time of almost 1,400 milliseconds. I mean, that's more than 4 times what Google recommends. No wonder pages feel sluggish. Okay, so for our final round, let's get to the root of all these problems. Page bloat. We're going to measure the extra weight, all the files and code that these tools force your visitors' browsers to download just to see your page. First, let's talk server requests. Our clean site, just 14 requests. Super lean. Tawk.to added just 1 more. But Drift, hold on to your hats, it piled on over 86 extra requests, pushing the total to over 100. That is a mind-boggling 600% increase. It's just clogging up the pipes. And of course, those requests are carrying a ton of data. Our original page was about 415 kilobytes. Tools like Zendesk and HubSpot basically doubled that. But Drift inflated the page size to a whopping 1,200 kilobytes. That's almost 3 times bigger than the original page. But you know, it's not just about the total size. It's about what kind of stuff is being loaded. And the number one offender, the heaviest and most complicated part, is always JavaScript. This is what does the real damage. So just to give you a baseline, our clean test site started with only 25 kilobytes of JavaScript. It's a tiny number. Remember that, 25 KB. Okay, you ready for this? Drift, all on its own, adds another 720 kilobytes of JavaScript. Just to put that into perspective, that's almost double the size of the entire original web page. It is just an insane amount of code to force on a visitor. So why is this so bad? Well, as Google engineer Adi Osmani famously said, a 200 KB JavaScript is not the same as a 200 KB image. See, a browser has to download JavaScript, then it has to understand it, and then it has to run it. That whole process is way more intensive, and it's what directly blocks your page from working. So after 3 rounds of some pretty brutal performance tests, I think it's time for the final verdict. Let's wrap this all up and crown our champion. Really, this tale of the tape says it all. Let's put our winner, Tawk.to, in one corner and one of the worst performers, Drift, in the other. Across every single metric we looked at, mobile score, requests, JavaScript, blocking time, the difference isn't just a little bit. It's absolutely monumental. It's like a lightweight champion versus a super heavyweight that's just dragging the entire page down. So what are the big takeaways here? What should you do with this info? Well, number 1, page speed can't be an afterthought anymore. It has to be a deciding factor when you're choosing a live chat tool, or really any third-party tool. Number 2, based on our tests, Tawk.to is the undisputed performance champion. And finally, number 3, don't just take our word for it. Don't guess, test. Run an A/B test on your own site. See what a faster tool does for your own conversions. And that really brings us to the final question, the one for you. Now that you've seen the data, it's time to take a hard look at your own site. Is your live chat tool a champion, or is it the heavyweight that's secretly weighing you down?